Welcome to Faith, Purpose, and Freedom podcast, where we share real stories, real hope, and real inspiration. Together, we heal, learn, and grow. I am your host, Kayla Rose. I'm so glad you're here today because what we're diving into is not just another feel-good topic. It's about who you are and why you're here. Today, we're talking about activating your identity and activating your purpose. We're doing it through the lens of truth. God is greater than every problem. He is faithful to every promise. He is gentle and powerful enough to renew anyone. That includes you. That includes the people who you've given up on. It includes the parts of your story that you're still ashamed of. So as you listen today, I want you to lean in. This isn't just information, it's an invitation, and you are invited. Let's start with something most of us don't like: waiting. We wait for breakthrough, we wait for healing, we wait for clarity, waiting for doors to open, for prayers to be answered, for purpose to make sense. But I want you to hear this: waiting leads us to what we hope for. It produces faith. It renews our strength, and waiting leads us to discovering more about God and growing even closer to Him. When we're in a season of waiting, it can feel like nothing is happening. Like you're sitting there, on the same spiral, and nothing seems to work. No matter what you do, where you turn, nothing's happening, nothing's working. And you're just like, when? When is it going to happen? When is my turn? But spiritually, so much is happening, guys. Waiting isn't punishment, it's preparation. The Bible says that God brings comfort to the weary. So if you feel weary right now, that doesn't disqualify you. It actually positions you to receive His comfort in a deeper way. Here's the thing: we have to remove the obstacles that keep us from walking closely with God. So sometimes those obstacles are distractions. Is there something distracting you that maybe you need to get out of your way? Pretend it's a kickball and kick it right on out of there. Fear. Is there a fear that is got a hold on you? Shame. Is there something from your past that you've not forgiven yourself for yet? And that shame, guilt, condemnation is just washing over you? Busyness. Sometimes we just get so busy that we have no time to focus and have relationship with God. I have been there where everything around me is so busy, and I get up, I start running, I forget to have my quiet time with God, I forget to listen to Him, and it's like, "Oh, goodness, life got so busy," and I find myself going, "God, I am so sorry, I did it again." Or maybe you're just trying to control everything yourself. I'm here to tell you, I've been there, I've been that person, I tried to control it all, I thought I was in control. I'm here to tell you, it's not gonna work, never works that way. Waiting on God means trusting, hoping, and depending on Him, guys. What I want you to ask yourself right now: where am I waiting, but still trying to control everything? Where am I saying I trust God, but my actions show I'm still trying to carry it all alone? Are you giving it to Him? Are you going through your day and whenever you hit a struggle going, "Hey, God, what can I do today? Hey, God, how do I overcome this obstacle? What is going on inside of me? Is there something I need to let go of so I can accomplish this or that, whatever you're trying to do?" Waiting isn't passive. Waiting on God is active trust. So let's talk about knowing your self worth. You have an inherent value that does not change based on your performance, your past, your mistakes, or your current situation. You're priceless. There's nothing anyone can do about it. I want you to imagine something with me. If I walked up to you and I said, "Oh, how much is your child worth? Name a price." I'm wanting an extra kid. I already got 6 kids for the record. I don't want to buy anybody's kid. However, just imagine if someone walked up to you and asked if they could buy your child. Someone said this to me the other day, and I thought, oh my goodness, like my kids are priceless. They are my entire world. No, they're priceless. Now I want you to hear this. Just as no one could buy your child for any amount of money, no one could buy you for any amount of money because you are priceless, my friend. Say that out loud with me. I am priceless. When we begin to see people as priceless, we love them better. We treat them differently and we lead them differently. You see, we all are leaders. We all have the ability to become leaders. Our children grow up and we are leading them. Whether you're in a business and you're a supervisor, you're leading. And if you're walking this earth, there are people younger than you looking up to you, you're leading. My teenagers are leaders of their younger siblings, and we all have the ability to lead differently, lead better, and then lead others to know that they are priceless also. This is actually why I do the Priceless Leadership Workshop. Um, it's for leaders, businesses, organizations, because when leaders understand the priceless value of people, everything changes. People begin to love themselves and others more fully. Teams become healthier. Businesses succeed not just financially, but relationally and culturally. You can't build a truly healthy environment if you secretly believe people are disposable or only as valuable as their productivity. Can't happen. Let's talk about growth, okay? So think about a plant. You cannot force a plant to grow, right? You can pull the top of it, and all you're going to do is pull it right out of the ground. Not going to make it grow faster. You can dump extra water on it and just keep pouring water, but you're just going to flood it. And so you can create a healthy environment, a nurturing environment for it to grow, right? So the right soil, the right amount of light, the right water, the right temperature, and then you watch it grow and you watch it blossom beautifully. This is exactly how school environments work, family life in our homes work, job environments work. We can't force people to grow. But we can create environments that are nurturing, loving, and safe where growth becomes natural. So I want you to think about your environment right now. What kind of environment are you creating in your home? What kind of environment are you creating in your workplace? And what kind of environment are you creating inside of your own mind? Is it one that you're nurturing for you to grow? Are you creating a space where you and others can grow and blossom beautifully? I want you to let that sink in this week. So let's work on that this week also. So, as of right now, we're working on seeing others and ourselves as priceless, what type of environments we're creating for ourselves and for others, and waiting. Are there any distractions in our way? Where are you waiting, but are you still trying to control everything? And where are you saying you trust God, but your actions show that you're still trying to carry it all alone? You're not leaving any of it at the cross for Him. So I want you to really just dive into those this week. Now, let's go into the fourth thing. Let's go inside for just a moment. Now, I don't mean you're standing outside and walk inside your door. I mean into your emotional world. Think of a time when you didn't feel so great. Maybe you felt sad, hurt, angry, disappointed, or rejected. What emotions were present? And I want you to just really reflect on that. Just think of something that made you feel not so great and think of what emotions you had. Now remember, actions reflect the thoughts and emotions you feel. Emotions drive behaviors. So when you felt that negative emotion, what did you do? Did you withdraw? Did you lash out? Did you procrastinate? Did you numb out with scrolling, food, or something else? Oftentimes we get on our phones and we just start scrolling because we're checking out from the world. Or people will just, get food and just start indulging in food because that's their way of checking out. Or they isolate themselves, or you just completely lash out and you start hollering. And a lot of the things that come out of your mouth are things that have been locked into your subconscious. And oftentimes, the negativity that we let out in those moments is how we secretly are feeling about ourselves. So we need to pay attention to that. And we need to be willing to go back and look at it and be like, oh my goodness, I said this, this, and this. Where did that thought or emotion come from? Why did I ever feel that? And go back and start looking. And then you can flip it. Think of a time when you felt extremely happy. You felt joyful, excited, helpful, confident. What were you thinking then? How did you feel in your body? What did you get done? Were you more productive, more creative, more engaged? Now remember, the actions and behaviors we have are driven by our emotions. Guys, this is why it's so important to work on ourselves, to know our self worth, and to care for ourselves. When we have negative emotions and feelings, we need to look at where it began, why we had that negative emotion or feeling. If we lash out and we say things, we need to go back and we need to really devour into these things. We need to change the negative to the positive. And this helps us become more positive minded. It helps us become a person that can think positively through any challenge, no matter what. Like, oh, whoops, I broke that today. Well, didn't mean to. That was an accident. No, not to do that again. And literally just move forward with your day. I, in my past, I can remember a time where I was so lost and broken. I had a glass, fall, and it broke, and it ruined my entire day. My entire day was destroyed over a broken glass. Absolutely unacceptable, but I didn't know me yet. And so I went back to a time where in my youth, situations would happen that ruined adults' entire days that were in my life. And then it was just yelling and screaming all day, and people were frustrated. And then it was validated with, well, this happened at 8 a.m. this morning. So at 8 p.m., I'm still angry over it. And these were just things that I went through. And, even just watching wasn't even just in my home, it was friends of mine's homes and, going and staying places, I would witness things. So we witness the adults in our lives doing these things. And so we just think that that's naturally how it is. We witness adults in our lives talking negatively on themselves. And so we talk negatively on ourselves. And then we pass that down to our children and our children's children and our children's children's children. And that's where we have to be generational curse breakers. We are the curse breakers. This next generation has such an anointing over their lives. I see so many people coming to know Jesus and walk with Jesus, and I love it. It just brightens up my day whenever someone messages me and they, "Can you pray for me?" Just different things, and there's nothing more exciting to me than to see generations coming to know Jesus, walking with Jesus. And I know that there is a breakthrough on the other side of this that's coming. And it's all on us. I had someone ask me just not too long ago, they said, "When is Jesus coming back to save us?" And I was like, "He's not. He isn't. He already came to do that. He came, he tried, he showed us how to live, showed us our authority, showed us who we were, and we decided not to listen. He is eating popcorn with the Father, enjoying life, going, what is happening?" His heart probably hurts. I know when my children argue and fight, it literally hurts my heart. It destroys my heart. I cannot imagine being God and looking down and watching what this world is doing, what people do to one another, how people talk about each other. I can't even imagine it. It breaks my heart. It's so important to work on ourselves, to know our self-worth, and to care for ourselves. If you don't know where you're going, chances are you're already lost, guys. We often know what we don't want, but yet we have no idea what we do want. And when we excessively focus on what we don't want, or we fear losing out on what we do want, we actually begin to lose out on what we do want. We have to be internally aligned. So we have to stop living from social expectations and start living from internal alignment. But what is internal alignment? Internal alignment is when these 5 areas line up: beliefs, focus, emotions, values, and behaviors. Let's walk through each one. So, a belief is a thought that's been given evidence by an experience. Here's the key: just because you have evidence doesn't mean that that evidence is truth. For example, if you tried something once and failed, you might start to believe, "I'm just not good enough. I'm always messing things up. Nothing works out for me," because you have evidence. You tried it, you failed. So the evidence is a moment, an experience, but that doesn't mean the belief is even true in God's eyes. Our beliefs shape our identity. They shape how we see ourselves, God, and the world. So then we come to focus. Our beliefs lead to our focus. We often focus on things that confirm our negative beliefs. Why do we do that? Or sometimes we focus on things that confirm our positive beliefs. This is what we need to do. Where you focus, where your focus goes, that's exactly where your energy will flow. Okay. So if we focus on all the negative stuff and we believe only negativity, that's probably going to lead to negative outcomes, right? So we tried something, it didn't work, and we only focus on how it didn't work, and it didn't work because this, and it didn't work because that, and it didn't work because this or that. I might as well just give up. Our negative outcome is going to be we're probably just giving up. We're not giving our full effort. We're not trying to find ways to overcome it. We're not failing forward. I always tell people, fail forward. I have failed many times. I failed at making podcasts 3 times before, actually. And here I am today. Is it the most successful podcast? Absolutely not. Will it be there one day? Absolutely. And that's how we become positive. If we begin looking at truth, finding truth, looking at life through the finished work of the cross, then we begin thinking more positively, more accurately, and more spiritually. So when we run into an issue, we don't just give up. Instead, we can say, Well, that didn't work, but that's okay. I learned something. I won't do it that way again. I'm learning and I'm growing from this. That shift in focus changes everything. We just have to learn like we're learning, we're growing. We're going to make mistakes along the way, but we're learning and we're growing. Through my podcast, I'm learning and growing every single day. I learn new things and I'm growing. And you know what? I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But I do know something else. I have done a lot of guests on this podcast. And you know what? I have been able to meet people from all over the world. And that is a blessing. I have learned and grown because of the amazing guests I have had on this podcast. I get to connect with them. I get to have them as a part of my life. I have them as my support team. And as I'm working on my book, many of those individuals have been some of my largest supporters. Guys, you learn through life. So when you put yourself out there, when you say, "Here I am, take me as I am," and you learn and you grow and you're willing to fall down a few times and get back up and go again, you start to believe in you. Focus on the positives. Even if it doesn't feel positive right now, focus on the positivity that is coming from where you're walking right now. Now, our beliefs and our focus affect our emotions. So ask yourself, what are you always thinking about? Where are you putting your energy? You can focus on what you do have, or you can focus on what you don't have. Whichever one you will choose affects your emotions, and then your behaviors, and then your actions. What we focus on affects our emotional state. If you sit around all day long watching the news and watching all these negative things happening in the world and all the negative things happening locally, and that's all you focus on, A, that's all you're going to see because that's all your algorithm on your phone's going to let you see. And it's going to affect your emotions. And then the smallest thing can happen. I mean, someone knocking at your door could completely affect your behaviors. If you're constantly focused on lack, fear, and comparison, your emotions will follow that path. Your behaviors will follow your emotions. So we truly have to recognize what we're focusing on. We have to become very aware of where our focus is. I get up every morning and I make sure that I spend some time with God. And sometimes that means getting up super early. But then I do some work and I go through and I do my emails and, if I need to work on my website or whatever's on my list of things to do that day, I get some work done. But then I always thank God afterwards and, try to focus on the positives. The world needs what is hidden inside of you. Remember that. The next step in internal alignment is language. Language is a window into our default mind. We have to become very aware of it. How we describe ourselves, how we talk about our lives, how we talk about our future is the language that we truly need to tune into because it's a window into our default mind. Are we speaking truth or are we repeating lies that we've picked up along the way? We'll say things like, I can't do it. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm just not good enough. I'll never change. But often it's not that we can't do it. We just need help or more information, or we just don't feel like doing the hard part of it. We live in a society where we have access to YouTube, AI, the internet, books, courses. Go to ChatGPT, look anything up, and it's going to give you resources to go learn about it. And it's going to teach you about it. We can research how to do almost anything. So the real question is not can I, it's will I. We may make mistakes, we may stumble, but we will learn, we will grow, and we can and will succeed if we keep going. So let's talk about our reticular activating system quick. Just a brief touch on this. So this is just a bit of neuroscience, and your RAS, reticular activating system, is like a filter in your brain. It helps you notice what you've told it is important, right? So if you keep saying, I can't, I'm stuck, I'm a failure, your brain will start filtering your experience to confirm exactly that. But if you start saying, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm capable, with God's help, your brain will begin to notice opportunities, resources, and possibilities that align with that. So say it with me. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm capable. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm capable. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm capable with God's help. This is why language matters. It's not just positive thinking, it's training your mind to align with truth. Internal alignment also shows up in our posture, okay? So pay attention to how you carry yourself. Are you someone that walks with your shoulders down and maybe slouched over? It's kind of like a depression walk. Are you walking like you're just trying to disappear? Are you standing with your head up, your shoulders back, and knowing that you are a child of God? Because we are all God's children, and there's nothing anyone can do to change that. So even your posture can be a physical declaration of identity. Now let's talk about breath work. Breath work helps regulate our emotions. So you can practice this simple pattern. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds. So when you're stuck in a negative mindset, try this. Breathe in for 4 seconds with a positive affirmation, like God is with me. Hold it for 4 seconds. God is with me. Breathe out for 4 seconds. And now you're letting go of the negative emotion. Maybe it's, oh, I made that mistake. So in for 4, God is with me. Hold it for 4, God is with me. Let it out. I made that mistake. But it's okay because God is with me. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm overcoming. Emotions determine our behaviors, and the actions we take will determine the directions our life will go. So, we want to take action on what is truly important to us. Values and behaviors are important. Values are what's important in the context of your life. So ask yourself, what do I spend most of my time, money, and energy on? What do I say I want? Why do I want it? What would I gain if I had it? Remember, internal alignment is beliefs, your focus, your emotions, your values, and your behaviors. So, when your beliefs, your focus, and your emotions and your values are all aligned, your behaviors will align positively with that. When all of them are aligned, you feel freedom. When we live with faith and live it out, we experience a freedom that feels like peace, and that's living in your purpose. Through my coaching, I help clients with what I call the LIGHT method. LIGHT stands for L, look within, I, identify limiting beliefs, G, grow through transformation, H, honor your purpose, and T, thrive with intention. Let's walk through each one. So, the L, look within. You can't transform what you refuse to acknowledge. Looking within means being honest about your thoughts, your emotions, your patterns, your wounds, your desires. It's not about shaming yourself. It's about seeing clearly. God already sees it all. You're not hiding anything from Him. So when you look within, you're simply agreeing to see what He already sees. So He can begin to heal and transform it. Then we go to identifying limiting beliefs. And these can come from fear, shame, childhood wounds, false identities, things spoken over you by others, traumas and disappointments. Limiting beliefs sound like I'm not enough, I'm too much, I'm broken, I'm unlovable, I'll never change. So we bring these beliefs into the light and we ask, where did it come from? Is this actually true in God's eyes? And what does God say about me instead? And we start transforming those. We use some NLP techniques. It's really cool to watch people go from that stage and then go to G, grow through transformation. And that's the most amazing part. I love this part because this is where we renew the mindset. I watch people's emotional wounds just start healing. They start building that confidence and discussing a compelling vision, work on internal alignment, building resilience, and setting boundaries. Boundaries are biblical. So, transformation is not just about feeling better, it's about becoming more aligned with who God says you are, truly feeling it, not being able to get on a Zoom meeting with me and say you feel it, but actually living it out in your life. Being able to report back to me and be like, oh my gosh, Kayla, I had a lady the other day who said, Kayla, I have no idea what is happening, but today I was at the store. This woman was yelling at me with her grocery cart, and she literally was able to just look at this woman and say, I'm so sorry you're having a hard day, but I'm going to pray for you. And she just went about her day. But that woman ended up giving this woman a huge hug and saying thank you and telling her, some really disheartening things that she was going through. And at the end of the day, because she didn't let how that person acted affect her anymore, where in the past, because of circumstances and situations she had walked through in her childhood, she would have reacted to that woman. And then the whole reaction would have just been bad. But instead, she was able to bring in love into a situation. I believe they actually changed numbers and stuff too. So that was just awesome for me to hear. And I love when I see that transformation happening and seeing people living it out. So next, we honor your purpose. We really delve into your calling, your spiritual gifts, your personality traits, your values, your leadership style. And we ask, what has God placed in me? Who am I called to serve? How does my story connect to my assignment? Honoring your purpose means you stop apologizing for who you are and start stewarding who you are. So many people are running businesses, CEOs of companies, and they are struggling and they are miserable because they don't have an actual they know they have this purpose of running this business, but they're not living out what truly fuels their fire. And you know what? Running the business is great. Sometimes adding a nonprofit to it that is something that, you value in your heart and mind and soul are just like delved into. I've had business owners who have chosen to turn everything around by starting a nonprofit that can help their employees whenever they're in hardships and hard times or, families and friends of their employees. And together, everybody's feeling better because there's this ability to help. And when we help and serve others, there is an amazing thing that happens within our bodies because that's who we were created to be. We are not created to walk this world alone. We are created to walk in love and unity. So there's so much here whenever we start really honoring our purpose and stewarding it well. Finally, we thrive with intention. This is where we talk about the goals, the accountability, the direction, the movement, the strategy, and we set SMART goals. These are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound goals that we're going to set. Where are you going? How are you moving? What steps are you taking this week, this month, this year? Thriving with intention means you're not just drifting through life, you're partnering with God to walk out your purpose on purpose. Now, I want to walk with you guys through creating a compelling vision. We start with your values. What matters most to you? Maybe it's freedom, maybe it's faith, purpose, growth, family, impact. And I want you to create a clear future image. Imagine yourself years from now. Where are you? What do you see? What do you hear? How do you feel? Who's with you? Really picture it and connect emotion to this vision. Are you excited? Are you happy? Are you joyful? Are you proud of all your hard work, everything you've overcome? And now you're living out your dream. You're living in your purpose. You're on this stage. You're speaking. The crowd is excited. You have them all roping their own pain up and throwing it out. And now they're living and they're moving into their purpose. You're seeing entire rooms shift all because you chased your purpose and chose to live it. Remember, emotions drive behavior. The stronger the emotional connection to your vision, the more motivated you'll be to act on it. Make your vision believable yet inspiring. Not so far-fetched that you secretly don't believe it, but not so small that it doesn't stretch you. And I want you to do this today. Take time to think deeply, write it down, and then pray over it. I want everyone to know that when I went into this a few months back, in March of this year, I decided I was going to start Faith, Purpose, and Freedom podcast. And it came from a deep, deep work within myself because living out my faith was very important to me. Putting God the front and center of my life was very important. Knowing that I was building on a strong foundation that could never be broken was important, but sharing that with the world was even more important. My purpose, I still struggle from time to know. But what I do know is my purpose is to bring light to everyone else. My purpose is to be a light in this world. My purpose is to help others heal, to help others see Jesus through me. And the freedom you get from that, it's beautiful. So, when people are living in faith, living out their purpose, there's a freedom that nothing can take away. And so that is why Faith, Purpose, and Freedom is called Faith, Purpose, and Freedom. When I began coaching, I've always been a place where people have come to. People have opened up their hearts to me. They've told me things. There's things I've been told in my life that I promise you I could have lived the rest of my life without ever knowing, but here I am. But I have actually sat in rooms and been like, God, why? Why did I need to know this? And so I've learned that I'm a safe place. People tell me things, people come to me, and I love it when they do because they trust me. So that has been a beautiful blessing for me and for me to be able to love others right where they're at and help them overcome. Sometimes things change for me. I began writing this book that I am about to release, Awaken the Light Within, this fall. I began writing it a while back. However, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't realize I was writing the book that I was writing. This has been years of notes and just different things I've gone through and the healing I have gone through that I am now putting in one book to share with the world. And I can't wait. And I'm so excited for what it's going to bring and the light it's going to bring others. I can't wait for it to release. And all I do is I pray over it. And I pray it reaches millions, billions of people. And I pray lives are changed and people walk with Jesus and know their identity through it. So, as we talk about identity and purpose, we have to come back to the heart of it all, God's love. The Bible says, "For God so loved the world." It does not say, "For God so loved only perfect people or only one nation." It says, "God so loved the world." That includes sinners, broken people, failures, you, me. God gave his son. Love is shown through action. Jesus didn't just say, "I love you," he demonstrated it. Remember, God's timing is always perfect. Following Jesus means letting his truth guide every area of our lives instead of following the darkness around us. Not everyone will celebrate your testimony. Some will misunderstand it. Keep telling it anyway. You don't need every theological answer to share what God has done in your life. Your story, your transformation, your journey, they're powerful. So, as we close today, I want to bring this all together. Activating your identity means seeing yourself as God sees you, priceless, loved, and chosen. Letting go of false identities rooted in fear, shame, and past wounds, and aligning your beliefs, focus, emotions, values, and behaviors with truth. Activating your purpose means honoring what God has already placed in you, creating a compelling vision for your future, and thriving with intention, taking aligned action step by step. You are not an accident. You are not behind and you are not disqualified. You are in process. You are being renewed. You are being prepared. God is greater than every single problem. He is faithful to every promise. He is gentle and powerful enough to renew anyone, including you. So today, choose to wait on him with trust. See yourself and others as priceless. Create environments where growth is possible. Align your inner world with His truth and step into your purpose with intention. As you do, you won't just talk about identity and purpose, you'll be living it out. Thank you guys so much for spending this time with me today. If this episode spoke to you, sit with it, journal on it, pray through it, and share it with someone who needs to be reminded that they are priceless and called. Remember, you are allowed to be a work in progress and a masterpiece all at once. Be happy through the journey and in the final destination. You're just getting started. Thank you for tuning in today. If this podcast has blessed you, please like and share it. Also, if you feel led to partner with me, you can donate through the PayPal link in the description or on Cash App, hashtag capital F, Faith, Purpose, Freedom. Your donation helps us reach more people and helps me offer free coaching to those in need, those people who are truly just struggling and can't financially afford. So I love being able to do that. And as always, I love you all and stay blessed.